Too many dicks in the ass.
It hurts. I hurt my back! Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch the Movie. I'm Mike, he's Jay, Doctor Strange. I said, goddamn!
Yeah, why do you always look at me when you do it?
Because it's time to fuck, okay. Mac.
Cool beans.
Doctor Strange is about a man who's tired of his wife and wants to find some strange vagine.
Let's conjure up a review. Yeah.
Benedict Cumberpatch.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, guys, first off, I want to say, I tried my best to love this movie. I wanted to love this movie. I think this movie could have been phenomenal because the basic plot is cool. Like, the idea behind Doctor Strange, the metaphysical, horror-related feel that I think it should have been in. Like, you know, it's basically a guy that gets his fucking hands wrecked, and then he goes on a soul-searching mission to get his shit healed. He's arrogant, he's egotistical as fuck, and then discovering his own path within, and he meets the Ancient One, and he finds out how to become the, you know, the ancient mystical warrior guy.
He plays with those dark arts.
And, you know, there's, yeah, in the comic book and stuff, it's they deal with demons, they deal with, like, dark metaphysical stuff and occult shit. And in this one, I think they put the brakes on in a lot of ways because they were afraid of what the backlash might be if they go all the way through with it. This movie also relied really heavy on CG, which I understand, but at the same time it was overused. It was an overcooked steak.
Here's the thing. Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberpatch as Doctor Strange, the look and his cape, fucking perfection. Mm-hmm. It was great. It was great. I love that stuff. I think Benedict Cumberpatch in a different movie will be a great Doctor Strange. I can't wait to see him mixing with the rest of the Marvel Universe. But this movie, I don't know what it is with November releases and Marvel films, but this film landed right there with me with Thor Dark World.
Exactly.
And I hate to say that because I was really excited for it.
The performances are good, okay? The actors, for the most part, are good. I mean, they buoy the movie in ways that it saves itself a little bit, okay? If they had cast shitty actors in certain roles, it would have been a more terrible movie. But, I mean, saying that, it goes 1,000 miles an hour and never stops, and it just jumps all over the fucking place.
That's my main problem with the film is it had no emotion in it whatsoever. It had no emotion at all. This guy, like, I felt for him, he did a good job conveying the fact that, like, my fucking hands! My hands!
How am I going to jack off?
I got all that, but there's no character development at all. Just because it's Marvel, and I love Marvel. I love fucking Marvel. Great. I get so excited for these movies to come out. I'm not being a DC fanboy or whatever. I'm literally just telling you how I feel, like we did about Batman vs. Superman. And the fact is, this movie has no character development at all. The love interest with Rachel McAdams was slapped on, and it was just force-fed, and you didn't care. There was nothing to it. There was no character development as far as, like you said, he's an asshole, and Stephen Strange is. That's the main thing. Like, he's a huge asshole.
Strange man.
Yeah, a lot like Robert Downey Jr. is, kind of, a little bit. But he goes through this huge transformation because he goes to this place to get fixed up, and he learns all these new things about himself, and he changes his view on the world, and they did not do that at all. It was slap paste. I'm a bad guy, you fixed me, now I know about magic, and now I'm happy again.
But it wasn't even that.
There was nothing emotional to grab onto or care about. There was no moment. There was nothing heavy. It was all just plastered on fucking Elmer's glue bullshit.
I'm gonna climb up on this boat with you and tell you this.
Get in!
Thank you!
I'll open the hatch!
It's stuck!
Welcome to Buttfuck Mountain!
Okay, I'm getting off.
Don't get off!
Not that way.
Don't get off on Buttfuck Mountain!
You'll sink, Michael! But, I am agreeing with that wholeheartedly, and, you know, exactly, the developments and the characters not there as much as I wanted it to be, and especially with a story like this. And I mean, I thought immediately when I heard Doctor Strange was going to come out as a live-action film to the big screen, I was like, that's cool, I'd like to see it, I hope it's dark, I hope it's gritty, because it is, like the story, the base plot is supposed to be that way. And I mean, I think they could have made a sci-fi, a horror adventure that would have been amazing and beyond anything they had done before. Mm-hmm. Now, saying that, I also had my doubts, and I thought maybe it would be better suited for Netflix, because imagine seeing Doctor Strange hook up with the Defenders and see how all that would go, because Netflix will do shit that Disney won't. Now, having said that, they did their best as far as like the magic stuff, and they do go metaphysical with it, and you know, all the stuff that you saw in the trailers, you're going to get all that. You're going to get the Matrix style Inception stuff that everybody sees, and it's done well. And those certain sequences that they have in certain of the fight scenes, that it looks cool. Like, I'm not going to lie, it looks amazing. And again, Doctor Strange is, you know, Benedict Cumberpatch is great. And other characters are great. I can't remember the guy's name that plays Wong, but he's Genghis in Marco Polo. Fucking amazing actor. Love that guy. Saying that though, it's just the plot is just, it's so wet, soggy diaperness. Like, it's just like, it just hangs in the middle. And again, when it goes 1,000 miles an hour, it does. It doesn't stop. Like, there's one part where literally the Ancient One says, now you're master of New York. And I'm like thinking, I just started 3 weeks, bitch. Like I've been at this job for 3 weeks and now I'm manager.
Even he's like, what? I'm not ready.
I know.
Stop. This is too fast.
I mean, it's like if you just got promoted at work and you're still learning the ropes and you're like, I'm manager now?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you're manager. And then next week you're district manager. You're like, I'm getting a lot of money, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So,
yeah, and the first act of the movie is good. Like, when he's dealing with losing his hands and he's being a dick to people, they did that pretty decently. They did it pretty well. When he goes to the place to start to find out about this stuff, I like his reaction to it. Like, we were talking about it earlier, he sounds like, if anybody ever watched Jim Jeffries, the comedian, when he does an American voice, he's like, I will not have that, Catherine. That's what Benedict Cumberpatch sounds like when he's using it. But it works. I like the way his voice sounds. I like how he sounds, and I think he played the character great. And up to the point where he goes and he starts learning, it's really good. Then they get to this point where they do this thing with out-of-body experiences, and there's literally a battle when the villain comes in, and there's this out-of-body experience happening, and all I want to say is the Frighteners. It's literally the Frighteners. There's these two ghost spirits fighting each other, and like the music is whimsical over top of it, and it's so like, just, I feel no sense
Mike,
of
stop
importance.
it! The music's timeless.
I feel no sense of importance. I don't feel like anything important's happening here. I feel like these two, they're making jokes in the middle of fights, and it's not like the Civil War kind of jokes where it's like, I've always wanted to hear Captain America and Spider-Man use banter.
That's different.
They're doing Chris Farley fucking like comedic jokes like in the middle of a fight scene, and you're like, what? It's like, how can I possibly even take this seriously? I get that Marvel's about fun, and I like that Marvel's about fun. I like that. That's different from DC in that. I don't like when DC tries to play in Marvel's universe, and Marvel doesn't even try to go there. But there's moments in this film where it's like, that could have been a good scene. But they tried. This is exactly what I was afraid of when Disney bought Marvel. This is a Disney movie, not a superhero movie. Disney come first, Marvel come second. I come third.
Okay, good for you.
You come again.
Not so fun for me. In this case, in this movie, Doctor Strange should have been the darkest of all the Marvel movies thus far, because you gotta imagine, this guy is arrogant as hell. He's an asshole. He thinks his shit don't stink. I mean, he even talks to one guy's like, okay, bachelor's degree, like Mike, I forgot about that line. He's just a pure prick to everybody, and he puts himself on this pedestal because he's never like fucked up anything, and that's what his whole thing is. And then when he loses that gift of his hands and how he worked, it should have been a very dark moment. It should have been really dark. I mean, him going through depression and just made it something like really like uncomfortable to watch. And then when he gets to the point of being, finding the mystic arts and getting the Ancient One and coming back from this self-deprecating area that he was in, it could have been a more lighthearted tone, and that would have been cool. But still, at the same time, you're dealing with demons and monsters. I mean, there's in the Doctor Strange comics, he fights the devil at some point, Mephisto or whatever his fucking name is. I don't know, man. I feel like they just really were worried about the backlash if they went too deep in the occult stuff, so they kind of, Cinderella did.
Yeah.
As much as, and that's fine. I get it. It wasn't a bad movie. I want you to, I know we're dogging the shit out of it. It's just because everybody holds Marvel to a high standard, and we do too. And I just felt they fell kind of short with this one.
First off, their costumes are just terrible. They literally look like they're wearing like the robes from Empire Strikes Back. Not even Empire Strikes Back. No, that's not what I meant to say.
Monks, though.
They look like they're wearing the robes and the outfits from fucking Phantom Menace, man. I mean, they look terrible. They look cheap. The costumes on everybody except for Doctor Strange look terrible, and I get that it's supposed to look like that, but they could have done a better job. I mean, this looked like some CW shit. And Mordor was awful. I thought his acting in this movie, one of the main points I saw from the reviews were he's so good. It's terrible. He's so over the top, and I don't know if it's meant to be comedic or not. And that's another thing in this movie. The jokes do not land at all.
Yeah, I didn't
There's a couple jokes with the cape that made me laugh. Most of them, the whole audience in the theater was just silent. This was a huge disappointment for me, even though the special effects were great. Benedict Cumberpatch's Doctor Strange was great, and all the Marvel stuff mixed in is great. But the villain, Mads Mikkelsen, is a great actor, and that shines through sometimes, but that even made him be too jokey, and like, I don't really give a fuck, I'm just here to do what I'm supposed to do. He didn't come through villainous at all. Another problem.
Yeah, he always felt reluctant. Like, I don't know, he just felt like he didn't commit all the way or something. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I always felt like he was just a guy that really got obsessed with Brandon Lee's The Crow, and he was like putting on makeup, and he just didn't go all the way through. It was like, Halloween ain't till manana.
Camping all the time.
Yeah, but his whole thing with the master thing that he's doing this for, the reason why he's a bad guy, I don't know, man. It just felt like he was just like, yeah, I got to do this. It sucks, and I just want to go home and play video games. But I'm here because my boss told me I had to come in today. But I will say again, the relationship between the Ancient One, And Doctor Strange is good. It's solid. I like that. I think the interactions between them are really good. And I like the lady that played her. I played the ancient one. I can't remember the girl's name. She's a really good actress. I thought she did a really phenomenal job. And I think, but the stars of the show for me was obviously Benedict Cumberpatch in the lead role and Wong. And he deserves me to know his name. He's from Marco Polo. If you haven't seen that, check it out on Netflix. But he was amazing, and those two I think stood out amongst both.
Right.
And it's crazy that the dude that's playing Bear Mordor, he's like supposed, or Mordo, I can't remember his name, but he's supposed to be like the main villain later on. And if it was like this is his premiere, I hope they do better. I hope they tighten it up a little bit. So overall, I'm going to give this
like a big baby.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to give this movie a 7.5. I enjoyed it, and it doesn't. And like you're saying, well, you've been bitching about it for a while. I was like, I know I have, but don't worry about it. I'm saying it's a solid movie, and I think a Marvel fan will like it, and I think it ties in nicely with the Marvel universe, and it introduces Doctor Strange to the overall cinematic universe that they're expanding on. Because there's obviously the bonus ending that Marvel's famous for, and it ties into something coming in later on.
I like the bonus ending.
Amazing.
Bonus ending was good.
It was going to be amazing. The music's kind of shit, but the action sequences kind of work. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes the acting is really amazing. Sometimes the acting falls short. It's kind of in between film, but it's still a Marvel movie, and I still had fun watching it at parts.
I give it a 6.
Yeah.
It barely reaches a 6 for me. I really didn't like it, and I don't know. I'll watch it again just because it's a Marvel movie and because I like Benedict.
I think we should have been not
so
cheapskates and see it in 3D. I would say see it in 3D.
Yeah, probably. I wish I would have seen it in theater. I would have enjoyed it more. Even though the effects, like the when they were on like Earth, the effects were really cool. When they go into the cosmos and stuff, it's cool, and I enjoyed the LSD like trippy stuff. I enjoyed that stuff a lot.
I enjoyed it.
Even though it did feel like a kitty cat on a kitty cat and space T-shirt at times. Like I was waiting for the cat to pop up. It was just way out there. That stuff was cool, but again, there's just no emotion. I don't care about anybody in this movie, and you Disney'd it up way too fucking much and made it all whimsical and weird when it should have been like I don't want it to be a dark movie. I want the Marvel stuff to be in it, but I want the fight scenes to matter. I want something to feel like it's at stake, and you're telling me the whole world is at stake. Great. In every fucking superhero movie, the whole world is at stake. Give me something personal to latch onto, and they totally failed hard to do that.
And again, I'm with you as well. Marvel is staying lighthearted and being what Marvel is. I like it, but I'm saying at certain times it deserves to have a little dark aspect to it. Like, don't be scared.
I'd like to see Marvel's version of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't be scared to go into it. They did a little bit with it, with Age of Ultron. There were some dark parts, and Civil War has some dark parts in it. But I feel like in this one, I just think it's extenuating circumstances because of the character and what he's about. It should have been darker.
And kids will love it. I'll tell you that. Kids will love this movie. Take your kids to see Doctor Strange. They think you'd be hearing me say that. Comment down below, let us know what your all's thoughts are. We're going to get a lot of hate. Because
first off, I want to say this before we get the fucking hate. I'm going to let you guys know, if you go back and watch our other film or other reviews on Marvel, we always give Marvel a shining fucking pass. And on a lot of their shit, we give them high ratings. Sometimes they fall, but they're fucking companies. Sometimes they fall flat. They're not always going to put out golden nuggets of shit to everybody. I mean, they'll put out golden nuggets, and then sometimes it's a golden turd. Because you can wax it all you want, but it's still a turd.
Stop using Inception on my brain.
I know it's hard.
Comment down below, let us know what your all's thoughts are. We love your fucking faces. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some motherfucking wham up in you. Question today, I forgot to say it. What's your worst Marvel movie of all time? We love your fucking faces.